So it's finally here, the Shattered Space trailer, along with additional confirmation that this Starfield DLC is releasing late this year in 2024. The Shattered Space DLC is something a lot of us have been waiting for, mainly because of the potential game additions to Starfield and lore surrounding probably the most interesting faction in the Starfield universe, House Va'ruun. If you haven't watched my Starfield lore videos, especially the hour-long one on House Va'ruun, and everything we discovered about House Va'ruun, from their culture to their politics and some of the potential theories in regards to what House Va'ruun is, what the Great Serpent is, and Jinan Va'ruun, definitely check the video out and the other videos out if you want to catch up to speed on everything Starfield. It also might help you see things that I don't see in this trailer we're about to watch. Also, if you haven't checked out our partner, StarfieldWiki.net, by the team behind UESP, definitely do so, as they have everything you need to know about Starfield as well. Also, shout out to Neves Walters from the Starfield Wiki Discord server for pointing out things and catching things in this trailer that I didn't see before. We chase dreams and embrace shadows and the toll fronts. You know, this is gonna be a very dark atmosphere kind of thing. So, almost immediately, it's a very, I guess, like, dark or grittier atmosphere than the more campy kind of vibes you get from a lot of the things you see in Starfield. And right here, we have some sort of giant space station orbiting around a celestial body here. And it said, the narrator said something about there's no record of a space station here. But I'll kind of let this play out for a little bit.
It's not right.
Okay. Okay, whatever the hell this is, you have to admit it's freaky. But also, I think this definitely has to do with a House Va'ruun maybe piece of technology that we haven't seen yet on the ships that we can fight or board in the base game. It looks like it's some sort of. It looks like it's some sort of it's chained up, or rather, it's held in some sort of it's held down or held up by chains, or just kind of suspended by chains. It could be either a very decorative piece, or it could be some sort of part of the engine of this space station itself, maybe, or a part of the engine. There's dead bodies floating around everywhere, and it looks like we are kind of in an engine room with these rather interesting looking pulsating bulbs.
Coming aboard was a mistake. We need to run.
Okay. When I first saw this, I was very thrown off. I'm like, this is not at all what I expected in terms of aesthetics for the House of Va'ruun homeworld, or House Va'ruun kind of just the overall House Va'ruun aesthetic that we've already been introduced to. They seem very sharp. They seem very dark. They seem very rigid. But now I didn't expect colors. I think that's one thing, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that just threw me off, which is a good thing lore-wise, that, hey, there might be a lot more to the culture than this kind of like depressing lore, or depressing tone.
Words carefully. They will determine how long you live. You trespass in the home of House Va'ruun. Your fate will be decided by the Great Serpent.
Can you feel its embrace encircling your heart? Constricting until there is no more you. Only us.
Okay. I'm definitely seeing a lot more details on my second watch through here that I did not pick up on before. So for those of you kind of interested in what this like whispering voice is talking about during the space station scenes in the trailer, again, Neve's wonderful breakdown here. As for the trailer, the voice calls in the beginning says, "I will never get back home, trapped, all for nothing, save Anasco." And of course, this is referring to Anasco Varun, presumably the third in line after Janan Varun and his son. And we had a theory in terms of the politics surrounding House Varun, especially when we discovered some of the some evidence in the House Varun embassy in the Mass District, right, where they kind of there was this implication where there might be a schism potentially or a political struggle, because as you know, as in human history, there often are political struggles after the initial ruler or even immediately after the second descendant sort of takes over power, and we might see a difference in government structure between the time of Jinan Varun and Anasco Varun. So it seems like Anasco might be involved here, and we might meet them. Restore the Citadel, which Neve says it refers most likely to the Scaled Citadel. This is the Serpent's will. So it kind of seems like we, as the explorer, the protagonist in the Starfield universe, might have to ally with, I guess, whatever is the Great Serpent at this point. There's a bunch of theories on that one. Dazra is, of course, referring to the capital city of House Varun, or rather the capital city on the planet Barun Kai, which, interesting fact, by the way, was supposed to be on the planet Serpentis, at least in the game files, but I'm pretty sure based on what we saw in the trailer, it might be a different planet entirely, or they might change Serpentis. But I have a feeling they might add a different star system to the game. Just kind of gives more people to explore things, and might be a completely unique environment based on what we see in Varun Kai over here. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things here that we could break down. Who is talking, right? It could be a remnant of, I guess, a person's persona that's been ripped apart, I guess. I'm just getting that vibe that there's something ripping people apart, or that making them into sort of space ghosts. But yeah, I don't know. This is pretty interesting. And Neves actually has a theory here that the space station might have grav jumped to the star system where we encounter it, because the trailer narrator, I think, is that Sarah? I think maybe Sarah Morgan. I'm not sure. She says that there's no record of a space station here. So to have a grav capable star station or space station, that I'm sure in the game, in the lore, in the game universe, is a monumental feat, and that could explain some of the interesting looking tech that we saw in the what appears to be an engine room, right? And we might get ported to Varun Kai. I'm really excited actually about this, partly because of the ambience and the kind of more horror side of Starfield. I feel like they could have delved a lot more into the horror side of Starfield, more outright than kind of implied it. So I'm really excited about that. And there's a lot more here. So we actually have quite a lot of imagery. So here, this is someone maybe disintegrating or like blowing apart. Right? I mean, and you see a kind of ethereal creature later as well. We seem to here have a sort of altar in worship of the Great Serpent. And this is, of course, I believe that's one of the blades they fashioned from the skulls of Groats. If you did the Andraja quest line, she talks about, hey, there's this kind of like coming of age ritual, but also like a childhood lesson in where you have to kind of take care of this like goat kind of looking hybrid kind of creature. It's called a Groat, and you have to take care of it. You have to milk it. You have to like kind of basically make it a pet, and then you kill it after all that. And it's to show you a lesson in life. And you also fashion, and her keepsake that she gives you is a knife fashioned from the skull of her Groats. It's a precious possession that this person's holding. What I'm assuming, because this definitely looks like a skull handle. And looks like right here, I think also Neves also points out that this is a hornless looking creature, hornless goat. I don't know, that looks like a goat to me. I mean, it looks like a sheep wolf, sheepdog, maybe, but it could be a goat, hornless, or maybe there's a difference between hornless or horned goats, or groats, excuse me, in terms of their sex. So yeah, I mean, there's something here. Maybe this person's about to kill their goat. There was a very, very brief image here. So actually, they do show it a bit more later, I think, in the trailer. But this is a statue of I'm assuming Jinan Varun, the original leader of House Varun, the leader of this kind of like great serpent religion or cult or prophet, I suppose. And I'm assuming this because in a lot of or in a few cities that we can visit in Starfield, especially Gagarin, right? Gagarin. There's often monuments or statues dedicated to certain individuals, or the concept of an idea that, and of course this also is true in our own reality as well, dedicated to those individuals or concepts where this is the most important, or one of the most important kind of like fundamentals of our society. So I would not be surprised if this was Jinan Varun in worship of the Great Serpent. Looks like there's a switch. Gravity's being turned off. Again, this is very interesting. It's nothing like what we've seen before in terms of like lighting or luminescence. God, I'm following my words today. It's nothing like the colors either of the House Varun trees, the supposed trees that make you hallucinate, or in theory they don't. So, right, this is the ethereal creature. And it seems like it can bleed, so it's definitely solid. I think I hear Barrett saying you need to run. Okay, so again, this must be Varunkai. It has to be the scaled citadel. This has to be the centerpiece of their capital on in Dazra. And there seems to be this like blue force field. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with technology or if it's a natural phenomenon on this planet. Based on the aurora here and I guess what I think is a gas giant in the background of the sky, I do think this is going to be a completely different planet or star system. And here we can see, I guess that's us, the protagonist up there, just kind of overlooking this domed city.
Be still and choose your words carefully.
Yep, that's definitely Jinan Varun. I mean, that is some sort of town square. You got habs, you got habitats, stairs, candles. You got what seems to be, I mean, the basic kind of decor we've come to expect in Starfield in the background with the lightings. But the clothes, the attire, very different from a lot of the settlers and other NPCs you can find. It looks like they actually are kneeling in kind of reverence of this ghost or apparition or some sort of maybe like energy-based being. So they could be living with them in harmony, maybe. The architecture, I would like to talk about the architecture. Again, not what I expected at all from the from House Varun. Very interesting choice of design here, I will say. And I think I do see, what was that? There was a tree.
How long you live.
Right, yeah. Maybe that is one of the trees that can be, that in the base game. That's also native to Varunkai as well. That we've captured specimens, lore-wise. Okay, and this is a much more like a higher view of the town square. There's a statue. This is from the back view rather than the frontal view. Again, a lot of the architecture seems familiar, but the other ones definitely were much more interesting.
Home of House Varun.
Right, okay, so based on people praying here and everything, pointing towards the citadel, that's definitely some sort of holy building or building of importance.
Decided.
And there's the growth knife. It's hard to say if this is like, I'm pretty sure this is a sort of office or lobby area based on the placement of the chairs and desks. My girlfriend, Becca, she's a professional interior designer. She'd probably be able to tell us what this is sort of meant to be, but I do take it as some sort of office or lobby area here.
The great serpent.
Again, the architecture is very unexpected.
Let's embrace.
And this is another kind of idle location.
Encircling your heart.
And I think this is more of a close-up of the Scaled Citadel, maybe.
Constricting until there.
And I don't know what the hell this is, so it could be a House Faroon weapon. That's not covered under the trilateral treaty between the three factions.
No more you. Only us.
Okay. It looks like a lot of this is going to be explorable. Grow! And some other creatures that might be just native to this planet, maybe. Or just native to House Faroon. Looks like a private dwelling and prayer. Okay. There's a lot of flashing images here. I'm so sorry if I'm annoying you guys, but I just gotta see each frame now. Definitely, these are scientists. I don't know if they're affiliated with House Faroon, but most likely they are working on something maybe related to the weapon that we saw. Alright, okay. Familiar. Okay. Oh my goodness, what was that? A creature right there. Okay, yeah, that looks like a very interesting creature right there. Yeah, the architecture. That's all I can really glean. I mean, they didn't really show too much, but it does kind of show us a little bit of the architecture, a little bit of the culture on Faroon Kai, and sort of the aesthetics that, again, I just was not expecting this kind of aesthetic. And I'm really curious what these ethereal-like beings are. And back to Neves here, and Neves believes that the background here, behind the statue, behind the town square, might be parts from the colony ship Jinan Varun traveled on when supposedly Jinan Varun experienced or had a kind of this prophetic epiphany with or discussion with the Great Serpent, and then he converted the people on the colony ship during a grav jump that, hey, the Great Serpent is real and he's a religion and here's what we need to do. I really hope that we get to see what exactly they really do worship in terms of what the Great Serpent is, why they believe the things they do, because based on dialogues with Andrasia and what we've seen, at least as far as the base game goes, it's somewhat of a pessimistic, dark, apocalyptic view. And when I feel like humanity will one day be confronted with the vastness of space for real, and not just stuck on one planet, I just feel like, why would you believe that? So I really do hope that we get to delve not into just the religion of House Faroon, but I think definitely there's going to be politics, 100%, based on the whispers that we hear in the trailer about Anasco and the Scaled Citadel. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this, guys. If you have any ideas of what you saw in the trailer, or maybe you noticed a couple clues I just kind of skimmed over, like the plant life, for sure I could have paid a bit more attention to plant life, maybe. And some of these like shimmering domes, I don't know if that's like just technology or a part of the nature on House Faroon Kai, but it looks like a very wonderfully terrible place to live in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about maybe the potential story or the potential lore here, or what these things are. I'm really interested to see what you guys think, actually. But yeah, we'll definitely be making lore videos when Shatterspace DLC comes out on Starfield again. And I'll see you guys next time.